Spring is here, which means that it's lemon season. Well, actually that's not really true. Lemon, like most citrus, is actually a winter fruit, with the exception of some lemon trees that produce year-round, but it feels like lemon season, doesn't it? It's starting to warm up. Maybe it's time to put aside the heavy winter dishes to keep you warm. You want something light, you want something fresh. In other words, it's the perfect time for lemon pasta, or pasta al limone, as it's called in Italy. We've gotten a lot of requests for Ava to cook lemon pasta on the channel before. The problem has always been, which one? Saying lemon pasta is sort of like saying pasta with olive oil. It's like, well, which one, which kind? There are many different kinds of pasta al limone in Italy. So today, Ava wants to cook 3 different versions, and we're gonna organize them sort of from like beginner to advanced. So we'll work our way to the more complicated recipe. But first, it's time to begin with the simplest, most classic plate of pasta al limone. Wow, you weren't joking. This looks really simple.
This is a very simple pasta dish that you can cook in the time that actually the pasta takes to cook. As you can see, we have very few ingredients, which means butter, lemon, sage, and obviously the pasta. I'm going to use paccheri because I really like this pasta shape. If you can't find paccheri, you can use also rigatoni, you can use also penne, you can use also mezze maniche. Feel free to use whatever you have in store in your cupboard.
No, keep going. I want to see where you go with this.
In your pantry.
There you go. That works.
And now that the pasta is in, we can actually work on the sauce. For our sauce, we need more or less a tablespoon of butter. And we are going to melt it. Low temperature, but we will help the butter with a little bit of pasta water. We're going to add also our sage leaves. I'm going to add also some black pepper. Keep in mind that the black pepper is optional, but in my opinion, it works very well. The pasta will take at least other 8 minutes. In the meantime, what I'm doing with the sauce is just keep it warm. I turn down the heat at the lowest, so we need just to wait.
So you're not even adding any lemon yet?
No, we are going to add the lemon later. It's very important with this recipe to, keep your pasta very al dente, because what we are going to do now is bring up
Turn up
the heat of our sauce. Add a little bit of pasta water and add the pasta to the sauce.
So you're gonna finish cooking it in the pan?
Yeah, like most pasta dishes. I think that the pasta was cooking in boiling water, which means that we need to make our sauce actually boiling, and we need to stir our pasta. And this is what we call mantecare. I don't know, how do you call this in English?
I don't think we have a word for finishing pasta in the pan in English.
And what you need, you can add a little bit more pasta water. You do this until the pasta is al dente based on your taste. And then what you do is just let the sauce thicker. So at this stage, because my pasta is al dente as I like, I add the lemon juice, stir a little bit more, and the pasta is ready.
Wow, super simple, super fast.
Easier than this is not possible, because actually you don't have to do anything.
Also using ingredients that a lot of people probably have in
Just
their
a lemon.
pantries.
The very sad lemon that actually there is always in everyone's fridge. A little bit of butter and some leftover pasta that you have in your pantry. And you have a very good pasta dish.
It's not uncommon for these really, really simple fast pasta dishes to be the best. This might be the best dish of the day. We'll see.
We'll see.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Oh. Okay. All right.
You can taste the very fatty taste of the butter, but then the freshness of the lemon.
We've made on the channel before several times. One of my favorite really, really simple sauces, Italian sauces, which is just butter and sage. Really amazing. If you've never had like ravioli with just butter and sage, it is so good. I love this as a variation on it though.
It tastes very good.
That freshness, like you said, it's like that acidity of the lemons.
It gives you that summer taste that is difficult maybe to find just with butter and cheese or butter and sage. But that lemon...
Yeah, it's very refreshing, it's tart, it's delicious, but it's also savory at the same time.
In its simplicity, it can be considered a very elegant pasta dish.
Yeah. This tastes like fancy, you know? If you want to impress some guests with very little effort, they will think that you are like a master cook who used wild, crazy techniques to get this sauce, because it doesn't just taste like, it tastes like much more than it is.
It's obvious that it's very important to have also a good pasta.
There's nothing to cover it up. If you use a poor quality pasta that gets kind of mushy and breaks and stuff, it's like,
avoid
there will be nothing to
completely.
cover it up whatsoever. So yeah, you do need a really good pasta.
Sì.
I think peccari was a good choice, by the way.
I know, Harper. Do you think that I chose the pasta just randomly?
All right, are you ready to ratchet up the complexity a little bit?
But just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
This pasta can seem a little bit more complicated, at least for the ingredients, because as you can see, we have some Parmigiano and some goat cheese. But in terms of actually cooking it, maybe it's also easier, because we need just to boil the pasta and everything will be done in this bowl.
Oh, you don't even need a pan or anything?
No.
And the goat cheese, just to clarify, because the Italian goat cheese I'm used to is hard goat cheese, but you're using actual soft goat cheese.
See, but then I have the Parmigiano.
Balances things out.
Okay, so the first step is to cook the pasta. For this recipe, I'm using what in Italy we call spaghettone quadrato, which is a squared spaghetto. If it is complicated to find this kind of pasta, use a very thick spaghetto. Don't use angelaire, because angelaire will not work. But you need to use a very thick spaghetto. You can use also linguine. You can use also fettuccine, but not the egg fresh pasta, but the one you buy in the store. And now we can start to prepare our sauce, if I understand how to open this cheese. And we are going to add a little bit of pasta water to loosen it up.
Loosen it?
Loosen it, yes. Is the moment in which we can add the Parmigiano. I'm never tired to repeat the rule for Parmigiano. How much? As much you want, as much you have. We give a mix. We need the juice of half lemon. At this stage, it can be already perfect, but we want to be a little bit more, a little bit fancy, which means that we are going to grate some lemon zest. So our sauce is ready. The only thing that we need to do now is waiting until the pasta is perfect cooked al dente. Few minutes. This is optional.
I think you were spot on. This dish is maybe a little bit more complicated in terms of ingredients. Like you need some more specialized things. Like most people don't just have goat cheese in their fridge all the time. But yeah, you're right. That really was just as easy as the other one, maybe even easier.
Then I need to say one thing, because we did this with goat cheese. This pasta dish works very well also with which other cheese?
Ricotta?
Okay, but there is a cheese that is not Italian cheese, but with
cream
Italian
cheese.
Philadelphia cream cheese, called the cream cheese with its own name, Philadelphia.
Yes, cream cheese is an excellent pasta ingredient. In fact, we made a whole video about it. I'll put a link up here.
So, if you don't have goat cheese and you want to make this dish using Philadelphia cream cheese, go for it because it will taste amazing.
All right, let's try it. Definitely smells good. Smells cheesy, smells lemony.
So, buon appetito.
Buon appetito. Okay, I see what you mean by cream cheese, because it does remind me of some other cream cheese pasta dishes that are excellent. That would be very good too.
I'm a big fan of cream cheese. So.
But the goat cheese, I am sort of a goat cheese fanatic, although not typically like, forgive my poor French pronunciation, chèvre.
No,
Chèvre.
You pronounce it very well.
You're Italian, what do you know? I'll let the French people tell me how awful I butchered that word. Anyway, I love Italian goat cheese. I first discovered my love with goat ricotta, which is actually technically not cheese, but we'll forget that for now. Absolutely amazing. In my opinion, makes the best cannoli in the world. And then I started discovering the hard goat cheeses that are, you know, if you're familiar with like Pecorino Romano, it's kind of like that, but made with goat milk instead of sheep milk. So I am all about goat cheese. So this is right up my alley.
Also here, the taste of this pasta dish is very light.
Yeah.
It's very well balanced.
Yeah.
You have the taste of the cheese, goat cheese. You can taste the lemon. You can have also the wrong taste of the Parmigiano, because you need the Parmigiano actually to balance the acidity of the other two ingredients. And in less than 20 minutes, you have an amazing pasta dish in front of you, ready to go.
Another really quick, amazing meal. Okay, we've covered the basic pasta al limone.
More basic than that is impossible.
We've covered the taking things up a little notch with some fancier ingredients like goat cheese, pasta al limone.
It was very easy also in the technique.
I think that means it's time for the advanced pasta al limone.
This pasta is a little bit different of the others because we are not going to use any lemon juice, but we are going to use just the lemon peel. So be sure that your lemon actually is an organic lemon, that you can eat the peel. And what we are going to do with the lemon peel is what in Italy we call pesto di limone.
So this time just normal spaghetti?
I'm using normal spaghetti. Also because the name of the dish, spaghetti al pesto di limone, sounds very cool. When you peel your lemon, you need to be very careful to take just the yellow part. You don't want the white part because the white part is bitter. It's like when you make the limoncello, just to make you understand. And I know that in this moment a lot of people are thinking why she doesn't use a potato peeler, because I don't know how to use a potato peeler. I was born with the knife in my hands, so if it happens like this, where you have some white part, with a knife actually you take it out, you scrape it. Then to make the pesto, you know that you need some Parmigiano Reggiano. There isn't a pesto without Parmigiano Reggiano. We are going to add some leaves of basil. Here we have pine nuts, but before we put the pine nuts here with all the other ingredients, we need to toast them. You need just a small pan on medium heat and 2 to 3 minutes time just to actually toast them, but not burn them. We need a pinch of salt, maybe 2 pinches of salt, a little bit of olive oil, I'm using an immersion blender, but if you don't have one of these, you can use also a normal blender. This is the kind of pesto that, yes, you can make in a mortar, but believe me, it will take forever because you have the lemon peel. So it's one of the cases in which we can use some technology. Like every kind of pesto, we are not going to cook it. So you place your pesto in a bowl and we are going to loosen it, add a little bit of pasta water. When the pasta is ready, we transfer the pasta direct into the bowl. We add just a little bit extra pasta water and we mix it.
My expectations for this one are very high because I tasted that pesto after you made it, and not only was it mind-blowingly good, but also this one has by far the best smell so far.
It's pesto di limone, it's like...
It's really like, it smells absolutely amazing.
You smell the lemon, you smell the basil, the pine nuts.
Which is kind of funny too, because this is the only one that doesn't actually use lemon juice.
Just lemon
But
peel.
it smells the most.
Yes, but because the lemon peel has the essential oil.
Yeah.
When you make the parfum, you use the essential oil. You don't use the juice.
Well, let's see how it tastes.
We act surprised like if we were not licking the spoon and all the rest.
I already tasted the pesto, and so like I know how good this is going to be.
We need to be sincere.
It's not like the spaghetti is gonna make it taste bad.
We were licking the spoon until 3 seconds ago. Buon appetito! Even better than 3 seconds.
Once you have the starch of the pasta and the pasta water and everything. Yep.
Mamma mia.
Okay. I think it's safe to say this one wins.
Pesto, in all the forms of pesto and all the kinds of pesto, is an amazing condiment.
Yeah. I maybe like this more than normal pesto alla genovese, which is saying a lot for me because that's one of my favorite things.
The only thing that I can see, the difference, okay, also to me, this tastes better, but because I like lemon. But while the pesto alla genovese is much more versatile.
Yeah.
This, you can put pesto alla genovese on a pizza. I don't know if I was very confident to put this on a pizza.
Yeah, maybe just for like pasta sauce. I could see it working on certain like sandwiches.
Actually also on a pizza, but it needs to be a very particular pizza. So I'm imagining like, I don't know, a white pizza with salmon, smoked salmon and this on top. So this kind of pizza, yes, but not tomato sauce in this.
Yeah, this is my favorite of the day. It's definitely the most complicated to make because actually making pestos like this is a little bit tricky. Even when you're using a blender and stuff, depending on what kind of blender you have, like you noticed Eva used an immersion blender because it's sort of better for doing little small quantities like this. If you use a normal blender, it can be tricky to get the blades to sort of grip onto the ingredients.
It's also real that you can make a little bit more.
I was going to
keep in
say,
the fridge
this is so good.
and keep in the
The
fridge.
easiest way to go about it actually is to make a big batch of this pesto. You use a little bit for your pasta, use the rest for whatever you want, because believe me, you're gonna want to keep this around. It is such a good sauce.
We are fighting for the last work of pasta, Harper.
Well, we hope that some of you will go out and try to make some form of pasta al limone, whether you have an almost bare cupboard or you want to take the time to make a pesto al limone.
That it doesn't require a lot of time or a lot of effort.
Yeah, I think that the key takeaway here is that whichever direction you go in, pasta al limone is a really great and quick way to have an amazing meal. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Pasta Grammar. And if you try any of these pasta al limone recipes, tag us in a picture there. Like this pasta grammarian who made the ultimate spicy meatball recipe. Yes, thank you for trying that one.
As they wrote in the post, was an amazing discovery, because believe us, it is an amazing discovery.
Do your stuffed meatball.
Right?
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.
I know. Buonissimo.
Wow.
Buonissimo.
That is such a good, quick meal, you know? No time, bing, bang, boom. You have this incredible dish.